are once again. What's up, everyone? Good to have you here. Welcome to another live stream. And we're going to observe what price is going to do. So in this live stream, we're going to do some Elliott wave analysis. And there's two new structures of interest in this range over here, the local range. So we're going to have a look at these two. So first of all, a WXY, and secondly, a running flat. And of course, we're going to be zooming out as well, and then chatting Q&A, and then eventually, end the stream. So what's up, everyone? Hodl Crypto, good morning. Good to have you here. Hike is a winner. Yeah, the intro song is proven popular. Darpan, welcome. Seriga. Dawa, Octai, welcome. Kieran. Or jour. Do you mean bonjour, Dawa? Octay, 71.2k. Yeah, 70.9k first of all is great resistance. What did I have at? I had something at 71.2k, but I forgot what it was. I'll need to check. Bonjour, you got close. Maybe it was, what is it? The T9 auto correction. Kiwi, welcome. RK, good to have you here as well. Welcome, everyone. Divin or Divin? Well, that's an interesting one. Good to have you here, everyone. Thanks for popping in. So, again, in this stream, we're going to do Elliott wave analysis. Want to focus on the more local structure, which is the 4-hour time frame and the 50-minute time frame that you see behind the chat. And and then we go into chatting and Q&A. So the analysis won't take very long. The weekly didn't change, daily didn't change, and the 4-hour and 1 hour is more interesting. So that's what we're gonna focus on. Yanis, welcome. Mr. Brownbug, good to have you here again. Working but listening. Thanks for popping in, even during your work. Hopefully it doesn't affect your work negatively. Jingle, welcome. Just popping in saying hi because I'm gonna have an earlier night. I would suggest you will have an earlier night, yeah, and actually take some sleep. 1 second, I'm being called here. Oh, no, potentially spam, says my phone, so we don't pick up. Such a great weekend. Chart was like the weather. I mean, we had indeed quite a volatile Sunday, right? Has to be said. I mean, Saturday, what did we have? Pump up, move down. It was definitely a volatile weekend. Interestingly, it was all still contained in the range pretty much, but it definitely went up and down. So that was good to see. We'll catch up in the morning. Perfectly fine. T. Clapson, welcome. It's going up for liquidity hunt and all the people who were praying for a CME gap fill. I think so I know like the estimation of where the CME gap is. I think the CME gap is interesting for a wave 2, but not directly down, right? Like after the weekend, we made that gap. I prefer to only visit it at a later stage, not immediately. Paolo, welcome. Nirmal, good to have you here as well. But yeah, I saw the news, or I heard it, I should say. Just long in. Roberto, welcome. Rudy, good to have you here. And there you go. We go live and the chart is moving. We love to see it. So let's start with the analysis, shall we? Let's get things going. 9 minutes in. So let's get it going. So on the 4-hour time frame, that's where we're going to start. So I will remove the daily folders out. Okay. 9:30, cool. So on the 4-hour time frame, the bullish scenario is continuation to the upside, where we are looking for 4-5 price action, right? So 4-5, 4-5, and eventually you end with a higher degree wave 5. Now, if we look at the start from a probabilities perspective, the probabilities are higher for a double 1-2 compared to a leading diagonal. So it does give a bit of probabilities to a double 1-2, and yeah, wherever you want to put this wave 1, I don't really care. It's just a double 1 2 1 2 1 2, and then you get your 3, and then you get your 4 5, and then you have your 4 and another 5, right? So at least one more push towards the upside. Now, a common target for a wave 4 of a lower degree or higher degree, which is the blue 4, is the price action of wave 4 of a lower degree. And something I did not mention in the morning update is we did touch this area, as you can see. So you take a simple box from the start to the end of your lower degree 4 in white. The reason it is the lower degree is in blue we have 1 2 3 4 5, and then in white subdegree of 3 1 2 3 4 5, right? So this price action over here of wave 4 is important support for the higher degree 4, and we did touch it with this quite incredible wick on the Sunday. So the common target area for your wave 4, being a wave 4 of a lower degree, is at least touch. However, from a Fibonacci standpoint, the target for a wave 4 would be lower, right? Would be the 0.236 to the 0.5 Fibonacci, taken from the low of 2 to the high of your 3, which I put on this top over here. And that is 64.4 to 60.9K. Right, invalidation 59.3K. Also, preferably, we're looking for a little bit longer wave 4 would be nice, right? If you compare your 2 here and your 4, right? This wave 4 was nice and long. That's what we like to see compared to your white 2 price action. Most commonly, a wave 4 is longer compared to a wave 2. If we take a fib time from the start to the end of blue 2 to the end of blue 3 and toggle on the 1-to-1, then you can see the low here was made before the 1-to-1. Now a wave 4 can be shorter than a wave 2. There's no reason to think it is not allowed to do that, but it is most common for a wave 4 to be longer than a wave 2, as is Elliott wave theory. It's just statistics, it's data, it's the theory. Most commonly wave 2 is sharp and deep, which it definitely is, increasing the probabilities for a wave 4 to be more sideways and more complex. And we will zoom into this structure in a second. Just wanted to say that we did at least hit the wave 4 price action, right? So that is something. Now, a rare target for a wave 4, and one that I actually never show in my fibs, is the 146. And even the 146 on the chart here is not touched, interestingly, no? So you did hit the lower degree wave 4, but you did not really hit any of the target areas for your wave 4. So yeah, quite interesting. But by all means, the probabilities here in this scenario are higher for price to move up and create a fifth. So sooner or later, you want to see that trend continue to the upside. Now then, locally, inside the wave 4, right? So inside the wave 4 of a higher degree that we just spoke about, right? So we have our 3 finish, and then you look for 4 and continuation up. Inside that wave 4, I have here a running flat, A, B, 5 wave C finished and continuation to the upside. Now, most common is an expanding flat. That is why this morning in the update, I was talking about this area here. That is your most common target area, because an expanding flat is way more common than a regular flat or a running flat. And what I have on my chart here is a running flat. A, B, C, flat in A, that's perfectly fine. Zigzag corrective structure in B, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in C, finished inside the target area for C of a running flat. And then you want to move out of this area and continue up to take out the high. Now again, it is most common though for price to move into the lower fibs, because an expanding flat is more common than a running flat. But when I noticed after the video this morning, we made this range here, we dipped below the range and then moved back in the range, I was like, well, we do count a 5-wave structure down here. So there is the potential for a finished wave C in a running flat and continuation up. Now that is important because of trade management, right? And for now, at least, we have this structure to the upside. Now, your most bearish scenario, right, would be for price to still look to the downside, we do need to see resistance, but that would be a wave 1, looking for 2, and we still have a bigger move down to come, right? Common target for your wave 2 is between the 05 and the 786 Fibonacci. We are currently approaching the golden pocket, as you can see here, right? Let me quickly check if I have anything up here. Only a daily at the 886, which is quite high though. So your common target area is the 05 to the 786. So this would be an area of interest for a wave 2. Proof of resistance, right? At the moment, price is moving up, volume is moving up. So what I would like to see to only, start having interest in a scenario like this is to see resistance, price moving down, maybe some bear CVDs, right? And then eventually I might switch to, okay, I'm looking for a move down. A second scenario compared to the flat is a complex structure in a WXY. Flat in W, zigzag corrective structure in a wave X, and then a zigzag in a wave Y to the downside, with a 5 wave A looking for a 3 wave B and a 5 wave C to the downside. In this case, your wave Y does not have to take the low of W, creating a very sideways range-bound shallow range for your higher degree wave 4 and still look up for 5. Now the reason why the probabilities are higher still for price to sooner or later take out this high from an Elliott wave point of view is because of this move to the upside. Covered it this morning shortly for the Americans as well that are just waking up. And you see me do this a lot, and I really, really recommend this as well. When you make a pivot low and we are looking for continuation to the upside, or in other words, a wave 5 on the higher time frame, right? So we want to finish a structure and look for wave 5. Wave 5 has to be a 5 wave impulsive structure, meaning that this move up has to be an impulse, diagonal, or a double 1-2, 1-2, 1-2, and then move up in 3. Now, if we cover this one by one in an impulse, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you don't want overlap between wave 1 and 4. But you can see here, overlap, overlap, overlap. Doesn't make sense to count this an impulse. Then we have a diagonal. Okay, well, we do have overlap, right? So that is something you do want to see in a diagonal. But still, if this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then your wave 3 here is the shortest wave, which is not allowed. Diagonal doesn't really work here as well, especially ending a diagonal there. And then you have a multi 1-2, which needs to be 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2 because of the overlap. And then you want to see the biggest 3, which we didn't get. In other words, probabilities are not great for this to be an impulsive structure. Therefore, the high in this trend to the upside so far, right? So this trend to the upside so far, the current high here has a higher probability of being a corrective top, meaning a wave B or a wave X, which therefore means, and that's just because of the 5-minute move up having a higher probability of being corrective, not impulsive. Because if you want to end this with a wave 5 and have a bigger move to the downside, a bigger wave 2 and then maybe a 3 up, for example, you want to end with an impulse. This has to be an impulse. But we just identified that following the rules of Elliott waves, probabilities are not really on the side of this being an impulsive move to the upside locally, increasing probabilities for a B or X stop. But if this is a wave B or X, then any move down has a higher probability here of being a wave C or a wave Y, which therefore in turn increases the probabilities to still move up and take out the highs sooner or later with an impulsive structure, because we want to end this move to the upside with a 5-wave impulsive move. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Make a high and then move to the downside with a 5-wave structure to get a bigger retracement. So therefore it increases the probabilities that what we're looking for here is that blue wave 4 corrective structure, and we still look for price to sooner or later take out the high. Now from a resistance and support point of view, we are at the daily acting as resistance, very nicely respected, as you can see. To the downside, we have the blue box, 63.6, 64.8 is quite a big area, but that's because the levels inside this area are quite far from one another. It's just that the weekly naked point of control and daily naked point of control at 64775 are all the way here, and then you have a daily and point of control down here. So that's why I got the box. It's quite a wide box, but these are the levels inside the box. We also hit the local daily naked point of control at 67.2k. So as you can see, acted nicely as support here, right? And we have moved towards the upside after hitting this daily naked point of control. Now to the upside, you saw the resistance already. First of all here, 69.1, 69.7, and then 78 to 71. Right, so those are the levels to keep an eye on. And that's pretty much the analysis. On the 4-hour, your most bearish scenario is that you do have an end here, right? So you do have a finished wave 5, and you look for a bigger corrective structure, meaning this high is a wave 1 or A. You're looking for a much bigger move down, and then a wave B or a wave 2, and a move towards the upside in a wave C or a wave 3, right? That's currently your highest probability bearish scenario, as a wave A, diagonal, B, and C currently does not have high probabilities compared to an impulse. If you take a trend-based fib from the low to the high of A to the low of B, toggle on your wave C target area, you can see we also moved far above the 1.618, moved above, even found support on the 1.618 multiple times. That is very much wave 3 probabilities, right? So the moment you hit the 1.618, yes, it is a target for a wave C, but it is more common for a wave 3. So the moment you hit a 1.618, the probabilities are towards a wave 3 compared to a wave C. And now you've also passed the 1.618 because we range above it. So the probabilities for a 3 are higher than a C, right? It's not an invalidation, but the extension of your C, it increases probabilities for a wave 3, for an impulsive structure, which therefore means the bearish scenario has a higher probability of being an impulse by itself, which is finished. But as we just identified, this final leg up looks better as a corrective structure compared to an impulsive structure. So that's that. And yeah, so from a probabilities perspective on the 4-hour time frame, the probabilities are higher for price to still look for another wave 5 to the upside. And on the 15-minute time frame here, WXY, so a running flat is rare, never preferred unless other scenarios fail, which means if price can take out this high, we will be counting a running flat here. But a running flat doesn't have the highest probabilities. The thing is that your WXY with a zigzag in wave Y leads to at least one more low, taking out the low of A. And also your more bearish scenario, which is a bigger A, B, and then a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, bigger move down in C, would also lead for price to still take the low. So probabilities would be higher from an Elliott wave point of view to still take out this low. And that is because a running flat is rare unless you take out the high. So the invalidation is very simple. If price moves above this high, the other two bearish scenarios are invalidated, because for a WXY, your B is not allowed to take out this high. And in a more bearish scenario where you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you're also not allowed to take out the high, right? So we do have a scenario where this is your low and you move up and take out the high, which is the running flat. It's a scenario, it's an Elliott wave scenario, it's absolutely legit. It is just a rare scenario, and therefore it can never have the highest probabilities unless all of the other structures are gonna fail, which basically means take out the high. So that is the probabilities from an Elliott wave point of view with the price action that we have since the 53K low and the move towards the upside and the current range. Oh. We also have some bearish CVDs, by the way. On the 15-minute time frame, quick refresh here. So we have a lower high on price, higher high on the CVD. That is the orange line here. The Y equals yellow. That is the yellow line, right? YB means blue and yellow, or yellow blue. And if you only have a B somewhere here, that is blue. But you can see we also have bearish CVDs on the 15-minute. So something to be aware of. We have a local move towards the upside, and in this local move we do have bullish CVDs. We had them here first of all, they played out, and now we have them here again. So what I would like to see for price to move down is some local weakness, some local bearish CVDs, or at least the bullish CVDs invalidated, get a bit of a grind to the downside, maybe some bearish CVDs included, volume increasing. Losing the range support resistance level here would of course be also interesting. Once again, we moved below it, we moved above it again after ranging against it for a while. So you can see it's been quite an interesting area. Resistance, 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 support, support, resistance, and now we're back above it, right? So yeah, those are some of the things that I keep an eye on. And of course, we do at least have the bigger bearish CVDs, but I always like to see some local weakness as well. So yeah, that's that. No, with regards to Elliott waves, that is what we're looking at. That's what we're looking for. Of course, also for a wave 4 and a 4-hour time frame, your common target is quite a bit lower, but at least you hit the 4-hour of a, or the 4 wave 4 of a lower degree, so that's something. But yeah, that's that really. So those are the probabilities. Also on the weekly and the daily, the probabilities are still bullish. Before these change, a lot needs to happen. So yeah. The resistance at 70k, a monthly, weekly, and a daily naked point of control, all at 70.9k. To the T, 70.900. So it's 3 volume levels like from a different time frame at exactly the same level. So that's the resistance at 70k. Okay. This one has been touched now. I'll just keep it in my folders for now, and let's see what price does. We don't really have news, at least not today or the upcoming days. Only on July 25th on Thursday, and then also on Friday we have some high impact news. So that's going to be interesting at the end of the week. Might increase some nice volatility, which is something that we like. Not that we really had a lack of volatility past couple of days, even though we are ranging. It's quite a decent range with some solid moves as well. So yeah, so that's that, everyone. That's that. So let me our analysis. So. Cheers, relax bro. Nice to see you going through the playlist as well. And sure, ask your question. 1 second, let me scroll up here. We were, oh wait, let me show the CME gap scenario that I have. I'm gonna show that one in a second. Rings, Liquid Mafia, how you doing, man? Rings played out good so far. Absolutely, you got your close and solid moves to the upside. Liquid Mafia being the ring analyst, Fibonacci ring analyst. Once upon a time, once in a blue moon, shares a ring analysis in Discord explaining what he sees, because many people like myself are absolutely clueless. But he mastered the art of Fibonacci rings. And it's always impressive to see his interstellar charts. B channel, how you doing? Good to have you here once again. Moin moin. It's been a while. Welcome, man. Leva, welcome to the team as well. Nice to have you here. Good to see you. Nice bronze badge behind your name. Barbie, welcome. Yanis answered the question, of course. Relax, bro. When you move, will you make text updates in Silver? Yes. Well, this is the thing, right? So let me shortly answer the question of Seriga because it's important for next week. So on Monday next week, with my wife, I drive to the south of France because we're actually moving, right? It's actually going to happen. So we are going to be on the road, and it will be a 3-day road trip. Now, as we have a lot of hours of driving and we do visit and see some stuff, I can't make content in these days because I'm driving all the time, and then we have an activity there and a dinner there, and I'll be exhausted. So the goal is, of course, and that's the same as when I go on a holiday. Like generally, I keep an eye on the chart, and I provide like some updates on silver whenever I can. So yes, the goal is to continue keeping an eye on the chart and updating silver whenever I can, which probably is going to be either early mornings or late in the evening, Central European time. So and that's of course what silver is for as well, because I won't be able to make content like record everything, do the whole analysis, and then it takes so much time. But of course, typing, texting, and what I see is a lot quicker. Okay, let me have a look at what Relax Bro is saying here. So I got to go to the daily. Actually makes me think. I still got to sort out internet in France. Good one. Let me actually put this in my agenda now. Yeah. Because preferably when we arrive, the router is already there. Okay. Okay. Let me check the question. Okay. 14th of March. Yes. Till the 1st of May is W. Okay, I see what's going on here. So this is your W. 1 second. This is your W. Okay. 1st of May till the 21st of May. Or the 7th, yeah, is your X. Okay, so that's here. And then a finished A or Y, currently being in the B of Y as a zigzag. Okay, so you then call this A, B, and then C. I see what you did there. 1 second, I think I used to have this. I'm not sure if I still have it. Oh, here we go. Yes. Right, okay. I'll talk about this. So first of all, you identified wave W here, which means you want to have either a zigzag or a flat in this structure. Now, what I recommend you to do is to count this structure on a 4-hour time frame and see if you can identify a flat or a zigzag according to the rules, right? Now, let me turn this off here for a second. So count this structure as a flat or a zigzag. I don't want to spill the beans unless you ask like, okay, just tell me why is it maybe not a flat, or is it a flat or not a zig? Yeah, I'm happy to tell you, but this could be an exercise as well for you, of course. So analyze this structure on a 4-hour. And if this is a flat, you need to count ABC. And if it is a zigzag, you need to count ABC. So that would be an exercise on how did you end wave W here, right? Wave W can only be a zigzag or flat. Now, then you have wave X, perfectly fine. And then you have your wave Y, right? And your wave Y here, Y, right, is then a zigzag. Now, a zigzag in a wave Y is perfectly fine. However, if you, and this depends on your count, right? If you identify, you can't have a WXY in W, guys. Only a zigzag or a flat is allowed in wave W. You cannot count this WXY. It's not allowed. So if you identify wave W as a zigzag, then in a sideways double combo, wave Y is not allowed to be a zigzag. So that's something to think about, right? So I'm like a teacher now. I'm giving exercises and a bit of food for thought. No? Second, if you're looking for an ABC here, right, inside wave Y, your wave B has to be a three-wave corrective structure, right? And it can be a zigzag, which is common, right, or anything else. So you need to identify this move up as a three-wave structure. And in probabilities, you want this to have higher probabilities as a three-waver compared to it being an impulse at the moment, right? Unless you think impulse, correction, impulse. That's still perfectly fine for B. Now the thing is, and now I might go a bit in depth, is that if this is your B, you can see that we touched the 786. Perfectly fine for a wave B. However, if the probabilities for this move based on your analysis are higher for an impulse, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, compared to an ABC, wave B has to be a three-wave structure, so it can't be just a five-wave impulse. Inside wave B, you then need a 5A, B, C. But you can see that you already hit the 786 with your wave A. So your wave B needs to retrace super deep, right? 786, 886 minimum, taken from the low to the high of A, for your wave C to not take out this high and invalidate a zigzag in Y, right? Because the common target for your wave C is the 1-to-1, right? The 1-to-1 taken from the low to the high of A. Now, for the sake of simplicity, let's use the current high and then move down. Now, the 1-to-1 that you see on the chart here in white, right, has to be minimum on top of the 886, right? Now, you can see that your wave B, this circle here, has to retrace to 54.9 for your wave C common target to be in confluence with the 886. It's all probabilities, right? So just making you think about how the subdegree of this structure by itself impacts the overall structure. And then finally, your final, I suppose, exercise is, if this is your W, X, and this is your Y zigzag, right, in your count, what is the common target area for your wave Y? Put it on the chart, and then see how deep is A, and how much room do I still have for C to end in the common target area? How high is B allowed to go? You know, those type of questions you want to ask yourself as well. And then you're literally combining everything. So your first exercise pretty much is this a zigzag or a flat? Can you end something here, or do you need to take another low? Right? The second question is your wave X. Okay, I mean, I agree, that would be perfectly fine. And then you have your wave Y, and in wave Y, there's two questions. First of all, target area for Y, right, that you have to take compared to your W, trend-based fib extension, taken from the start to the end of W to the end of X. And you have your internal B count in wave Y. Right? W is a flat. Okay. Now, what is so I like doing this. I really enjoy this conversation. Relax, bro. What is the minimum target for your wave? What is the minimum target for wave B in a flat? Chat's allowed to help. We're gonna do it all together. What's the minimum target for a flat? It looks like you aren't feeling okay. It's just my throat a little bit, so I got water as well. Okay, the minimum target for wave B in a flat. What is the minimum target? Ozan says the 886. There's no right or wrongs here, right? I mean, if you're in a classroom, remember in the old days and someone asks a question and you raise the hand, nothing is wrong or right. It's just all about learning. the 0.9. I'll just wait a few seconds. While I wait for maybe some more response, let me have a look here quickly. What's up, Andrew? Luca, welcome. I bet you learned from Optical Illusion YouTube channel about the rings. Yeah, so I don't know anything about the rings, but Liquid Mafia, as far as I know, taught himself. But of course, he's the only one that can answer the question, really. Harut, welcome. I think T. Clepson, you might want to DM Liquid Mafia. I don't see Liquid Mafia in the chat here, so I'm not sure who the message is aimed for. But Orange is one of the best servers for internet. You can change your phone service to get better price on Box Plus phone. Keep your number too. That would be nice. Box Plus phone. I see. Thanks, Andrew. Yeah, I actually put in my phone for later this Orange Internet France. So I literally put Orange in. I'm gonna have a look. Yeah, so a WXY and W is not allowed. Bloody hell, the WX Amy. Oh, thank you, Rahayu. Appreciate it, man. Okay, so correct. So the 0.9 is your minimum target till the 1.38, right? But generally, so the 1.382 common target for wave P. But the minimum target is the 0.9. So of course, what we do is take it from the start to the end, and we toggle on the 0.9, right? And that one is touched. So the minimum target for B, check. Now then we need a wave C to the downside here, which is a 5-wave structure. So I want to drop to the 4-hour. Okay, there we go. And we need to count a 5-wave impulsive move to finish wave C at the low, right? And I'm not sure if I can really do this with chat, but I'll explain. So in this case, we then have our wave 2, and this whole chunk needs to be our wave 4, right? And then you have a wave 5, which looks very much like a 3-wave structure, unless we end wave 4 here, and then this whole chunk is your wave 4 compared to your wave 2. Now, what you probably start to sense based on what I say is, damn, that wave 4 is actually very long compared to 2, right? Which is correct. But we can also see wave 4 is quite deep. So let's have a look, right? If we count this as a 1, 2, now wherever 3 goes, either here or here, so let's put in the middle, 4, and then 5, right? We just say, okay, we just accept the fact, yeah, it looks like a 3-wave, but for the sake of, you know, it doesn't really matter, whatever. Let's just put wave 4 on here for now. Okay, so we have our 2. Now wave 1 somewhere here, no problemo. Okay. If we put wave 3 at the lows here, either or, left or right, we can take a fib from the high of your 2. Let's see, is this one 71305? So yeah, okay. So this is your high, from the high to the low, either this one or this one. You know, who cares? Doesn't really matter. Now toggle on the common target for your wave 4. The common target is the 236 to the 05. The 382 is most common. The 0.618 is an invalidation. Now, I say invalidation, and if you would go into the theory, right, as Elliott wave writes, that's a very nice English sentence. If you deep dive into the theory, they do not say the 618 is an invalidation, right? But the 618 for a wave 4 is so incredibly rare, so rare, that is basically an invalidation, because the probabilities are so low for a wave 4 to hit a 618, it doesn't make sense anymore to count it a wave 4. So in other words, if the low of 3 is here, one of these two, wave 4 hit the 618, which in probability terms pretty much invalidates 4 because the probabilities are so dramatically low for that to be a wave 4. It doesn't make sense. So, okay, now with this in mind, right, we can then be, okay, let's put wave 3 here. That's fine, right? No problem. We're not going to take the lower pivots. We put 3 here and then just count this as a flat, ABC. Okay. Now, if we then take a fib from the end of 2 to the end of 3, then you can see price actually just missed out on hitting the 618, right? So therefore, officially, it didn't hit the 618. So we avoided that problem. But we now have a new problem. If we take a fib time from the start of 1 to the end of 2, your high here, to the end of your 3, then your wave 4 ended exactly on the 6th fib time, which for a wave 4 is also incredibly rare, that a wave 4 is so much longer in time compared to a wave 2. And that is if we end wave 4 here, accepting a 3-wave look in 5. Of course, if we end wave 4 here to get a straight line, it's going to be even longer, probably like 10 fib time, right? So even though wave B hits the 0.9, which is valid, side note is that a regular flat, where the common target area is the 0.9 to the 105, a regular flat is less common than an expanding flat, where the target is higher. But that being said, minimum target for B is reached. We then need a C down. C always has to be a 5-wave structure. But we cannot give high probabilities to an impulse down here because of the wave 4 problem, either in price or in time, which therefore reduces the probabilities of your wave W ending at this low. Doesn't mean you can't have a flat, because on the 4 hour you just need to change the low. What we can do on the 4 hour is here having a 1 2 1 2 3 4 5 4 and end with 5, right? Wave C, wave W, A, B, C. C taking the low of A. In a regular flat, your most common target for C is taken from the start to the end of A to the end of B. Accuracy, there we go. And then it's the 1 to the 1.236. And the 1 to 1 is touched twice. Perfect. All right? Now with this in mind, if our W is changing to the left, right, higher low, because of the wave C, that means that this pivot low has to be counted differently if you count a WXY in this bigger range, right? Which means now your X is going to be an expanding flat, etc. I guess you kind of get the idea of how Elliott wave analysis works only by analyzing this structure here, and why, from a probabilities perspective, it is better to end the W here compared to here. It creates a big change on the chart though. So we then have W and then X, and then you look for Y. Of course, your alternative is a leading diagonal, just quick 1 2 3 4 5. That's your A, B, C, right? But we were talking about specifically the WXY. Okay, what's happening on the 15? What's happening with that candle there? You know? Wow. Now that's a nice bit of price action. Where's my chat? Chat. There we go. So yeah. This is a little bit of an explanation on the WXY you had in mind. Tuan Ngok. Can this move up is part of a zigzag? W, X, Y, X, Z, and wave X can fake top and down again. I guess the move up, you mean the move from 53K. In that case, of course, in a W, X, Y, X, Z, all of the waves are 3 wave structures, right? Not 5 wave structures. So that means all of your subdegrees need to be 3, which is a challenge, right? From the low. So can it be? Not really, because you would need to count 3 waves following the rules. So you need an A, B, C, and this needs to be your W, then X. But your wave Y is never going to end here in a W, X, Y, or X, Z. It's too high, right? Unless you talk about, no, not even, if this is your W, the common target for your Y is the 1-to-1. Taken from, no, let's do that, leave that. And the 1-to-1 is here, right? And the 1.236 is here. You hit the 1.618, which is very uncommon for a wave Y, right? So then you have W, X, Y, X, and then you need a Z. But a W, X, Y, X, Z is very, very rare. Also never preferred unless all of the other structures fill. So yeah, and there you go again. It's probabilities, right? Can people try and count it and label it? Yes, everyone can label it like that. But from a probabilities perspective, a WXY is not the highest probability. Let's see if the probabilities can play out. Of course, we also had the bearish probabilities from an Elliott wave point of view. We had some bearish CVDs. Adam, welcome. And you snuck in. Yeah, cheers, Adam. Good morning, good morning. Good to have you here. 190% correct, Liquid Mafia. Oh, yeah. No problem, relax, bro. Yeah. What's up, reloads? Welcome. I remember in Discord, we once had I don't know, his name was something like Armageddon or whatever. He was always mega bearish in the Discord Bitcoin channels. So the analysis channels, we have Bitcoin TA for all the TA, and then we have Bitcoin Elliott Wave specifically for Elliott Waves. And there was this guy that always had scenarios that went so low, but it just doesn't make sense because for these type of scenarios to have the higher probabilities, you would need significant weakness locally, first on a 15-minute, then 1 hour, 4 hour, you know, and then daily, and then weekly, and eventually, and he was quite aggressive to other people that had other counts and other analysis, like, hey, I think it's going up based on this, and he goes, no, it's going down, oh, this or that. So eventually I kicked his ass. Just a warning. And then eventually later I banned him because everyone got enough of it. And then he came back with another account name, and I knew it was him because of the analysis looking exactly the same. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna give you a second chance. Let's see how it goes. I think he got around in Discord for maybe like another week, and then he got so aggressive again to other members. Like, fuck. I just kicked him out, you know. What the hell? There's no place for people like that. Snip the 618. Good job, Dow. Wizard Noogs. Bro, how you doing? Welcome. Good to have you here. What's up, bro? What's up? Wizard, by the way, do you trade or use Elliott waves in your analysis as well? Pleasure, relax, bro. Pleasure. It's going back up just to fake out. Ace winner, the forever bull. Tuangok, probabilities are higher on the 4 hours still to see upside, but locally this low here from an Elliott wave point of view would make more sense. I mean, in the daily time frame. Okay. From 73 and 53K is Y. But that's okay. So now you're talking about the W, X, Y, X, Z. So you have your W, then you need X, then you have Y, right? So 53K is Y, yes. And then you have X, and then you have Z, right? Now, first things first, right? A W, X, Y, X, Z is a very rare 5-wave corrective structure, right? W, X, Y, X, Z. It's a very rare corrective structure. It's never preferred unless all of the other structures fail. This is actually something that you can find in the theory of Elliott Wave International and the book Elliott Wave Principle as well, where they say that they have only seen a W, X, Y, X, Z very, very rarely. I think in the book they only say once or something. So it's a very rare corrective structure, right? Very rare. So it never has high probabilities unless all of the other scenarios fail, which means before we can give this high probabilities, we need 2 scenarios, actually more, like you need them to fail. So we have a finished A, B, C and an impulse up. We have a simple W, X and a Y structure, higher probability than a W, X, Y, X, Z, right? You have a flat A, B, C. You see, like, you can better stick with simple structures than W, X, Y, X, Z. Also, your wave X has to be a 3-wave structure. So this move up has to be a 3-waver, or you're going to look for a 5-3-5 as a 3-wave structure, right? However, instead of a W, X, Y, X, Z, it would be better to look for this. This has a higher probability than a W, X, Y, X, Z. Where you have a finished 3-wave structure in W or A, you look for X or B and then get a C or Y down, a 3-wave structure, right? In a flat or a WXY. From a probabilities perspective, in a more bearish sideways scenario, this has a higher probability than the W, X, Y, X, and then a Z here. Right? Can you do Tesla? Oh, that would be interesting sometime. Let me. I'm gonna add Tesla to my notes for. So tomorrow is gonna be the altcoin stocks and whatever, everything type of alt stream or stream, but usually it's altcoins. Let me quickly open my notes here. I'm not sure what's going to open or where, so I need to go to the webcam. Just look at my face for a second. Okay, there we go. Let me just add... Oh, Tesla's already in the list. Okay, never mind. It's already in there. Yeah, well, there you go. Okay. Moon Boot Boy. Yo, we've been missing you. How is live? Good to have you here. Thanks for popping in and writing a message. Yo, wow. And you got the green badge. You're still here. 6 months or more. It's between 6 months and a year, I believe, that people have the green badge. Yeah, cheers, Moon Boot Boy. Thanks for popping in and writing something. That's really kind. Appreciate it, man. Can this be the start of a wave 3? Yes, that is one of the options. A, B, C, 3-wave structure, a bigger 5-wave move down. Both of these are options. I saw someone waiting for CME to... Oh, wait, the CME scenario. Yeah, 9K. I mean, yeah. Before we are going to talk about 9K, you first need to lose 38.5 as a bare minimum. Let me talk about the CME gap here with the bullish scenario. So the CME gap it's somewhere here, right? I don't know exactly, but it's somewhere here. No. So if we just drag this box to the right and the CME gap is, I don't know, somewhere here. Now you can see that if we can get a nice 1, 2, 3, 4, and then a 5 to the upside around 71k-ish, and if we then move down, your common target area for your wave 2 in a bullish scenario is the 05786, which is then in confluence with at least a part of the CME gap. So that can be interesting. So you can retrace to the gap. You might not fill it, but you might at least test it, see if it accepts support or not, and then continue with the second leg towards the upside in a wave 3 or a wave C in a bearish scenario. But in both cases, you then look for price to move up. Yeah, ABC. Alibas A and now forming B and waiting for C. More in the learning phase right now. It's always good to know in what phase you are. It's also good you identify it. Some people, and I was like that, like jump into trading before actually learning. That's where it started for me, because I won big and then I lost it all. You know, one of the many, I suppose. And now we're here, and that's when I started studying. So if you can actually study before doing the big win and then the big loss, you're one step ahead. Hoshi, welcome. Jouke, good to have you here. Welcome, welcome. I'm not the Armageddon. No worries, no worries. I would have recognized that guy. Just wait. Love hot stock analysis as well. Yeah, I mean, maybe I should do like a stock stream sometimes. Like altcoins, of course, because I'm very much crypto minded. Altcoins are always very popular. So typically my analysis focuses during altcoin streams on the alts. I never really did a stock stream yet. Could be interesting to look at stocks as well. I've never really done any analysis on stocks, except in gold, when someone asked me like, yo, Koen, I've analyzed the chart. Here's the Tesla chart. Can you have a look? Give me feedback. And then I tend to count myself. But yeah, I never really did a stock stream yet. Adam Senzai. Boom, a boom. Sir from India. Good to have you here from India. Welcome. Isn't it true that I don't know if you call him president, but the leadership figure in India is the most followed leader in the world, like as a president or, you know, king type of person. I think he passed the 100 million on, I don't know, was it Twitter? It's insane. Are you trading? Yes, I am an analyst, but absolutely also a trader. Yep. That's me. Sir, I'm replicating your counts and thought process. That's good. That's good, booma boom. And hopefully by replicating, you get an idea of the thought process, which of course you write as well, which eventually leads to understanding the why. Why do I count certain structures the way I do? Why are the probabilities higher for a move up or a move down, right? And of course, eventually the trick is to learn so much theory that you will be able to count your own charts with your own probabilities, and then you can compare your counts and probabilities with someone else's counts and probabilities, hopefully of course someone that has proven to function on a higher level, and then understand, okay, why did I count it like this and why did he count it like that? So now you're comparing your own work with someone else's work instead of copying someone else. You're comparing, which is good. And then eventually, once you start to improve there, you probably will just focus on you and never really look at others again. Once your level really gets high enough. Great weekend of trading for me. It's what we like to hear. We also hit the 886 locally, by the way, increasing probabilities to take the low. 100.3 million followers. Yeah, that's crazy, eh? Just spilled my coffee. Prime Minister Modi, what a legend. My mate was dating the leader of India's granddaughter. My mate was dating the leader of India's granddaughter. Okay, granddaughter. Wow. Connections. Oh, imagine. Crypto Mon from India. Yeah, it's many people from India watching. India is in my top 5 country list of viewers here. Level 10. Yeah, we all start at level 0 pretty much. That's where I began. The good old days. Good old days. Actually, not really good old days, because learning Elliott waves was really tough. Here, another one. Sora, welcome. Sora Shawarma. I do like your second name here. I don't mind some shawarma. But welcome. Good to have you here. Okay, so we hit the 886, right? And that is important, because if this was a running flat, you're looking for an impulse up. And in that case, the 886 is a rare target for a wave 2. So the fact we touch the 886 increases probabilities to take out this low, as any move up now has a higher probability of being a wave C or Y, increasing probabilities to then go back down and still take this low at a later stage. After an 886 touch, it is quite common for price to move to the golden pocket, which is why I have this FIB template as well, the 886 to the golden pocket. Always interesting to keep an eye on it. So let's see. From Pakistan, welcome Abdul. The view on Bitcoin, just probability speaking, because the analysis is here, is on the weekly time frame bullish, daily bullish, 4-hour bullish, 15-minute. This structure here still taking out this low. You're gonna have to start doing your TA in rupees instead of USD. I don't know. Let me have a look. What's the percentage of people from India? Analytics. Let me overview, and then I go to audience. I'm not really in my analytics too often. Yeah. So okay, here we go. The last 28 days. These are the top 5 countries. The US on 1, Germany 2, on 3 we have the UK, on 4 is India, and on 5 is the Netherlands. Guys, come on, Dutchies, you slacking, right? We're falling behind. US, Germany, UK, India, Netherlands. Yeah. And last 28 days, the most subtitled languages were English as subtitles, Spanish, Korean, and Czech. Interesting. We have 95.5% of male audience here and 4.5% female. Watch time from subscribers. 80% of my viewers are subbed. 19% are not subbed. Wow, that's a big difference. So, in other words, if someone subscribes, most of the time they watch the content. That's really good. Thanks for your support, everyone. But that also means that maybe my videos are not too easy to find because my not subscribed is low. But that's something I'll work on with a marketing company. And then age and gender, the age range of most of the people, let's say top 5 age is on 1, 35-44, on 2, 25-34, on 3 we have 45-54, on 4 is 18-24, and on 5 is 55+. It's interesting, statistics. Yeah. Yeah. Interesting. Oh, T. Clepson. Ah, you had a chance. You had a chance there. Hey, I mean, you know, it's a small world. You never know who you bump into. Well, Darpon, top 5, not bad. Exactly. UK third. No problem, T. Clemson. Koens guessed the most English speaking country. Yeah, I of course speak English here as well. Wizard Nukes. As a software engineer, I had savings for 2 years, and in 1 week, all of what was being. Wow. This is a very typical beginning story. But wow, saving for 2 years and then in 1 week it's gone. Yeah, that's so painful, eh? Like that's trading in a nutshell. It's the emotion as well. The moment you start losing, and oh man, that's a tough start. But the good thing is, you started learning from that moment, and you're improving, and hopefully make it back. I've recognized like kind of similar. Didn't lose it all though, but I lost all my profit and a little bit more. So my first trade was really big, really stupid, really stupid. But somehow managed to get out with a big win, and then lost all of it in the 2 weeks after, 3 weeks after, plus a little bit more. Like, oh man. Mainly because of revenge trading. Boom Boom, actually, you discuss in depth on Elliott wave principle, which is why I prefer to follow you how to think. That's cool. Yeah, thanks. And I also like the fact that you enjoy me speaking about Elliott waves in depth. I think it is important as well. You know, it's besides giving updates here, I like to educate, and knowing the thought process and probabilities is important. We love stats. So do I. But I don't really. I like statistics from a trading point of view. I'm not really deep in statistics on my YouTube. I just like to make content, and I never changed something in my content based on YouTube analytics. I just make videos, and then I don't know. Somehow the channel is now at 12.6k people. It's not because I did anything in particular. I just upload 3 times a day and have been consistent for a while, and it's good to see people find it valuable, enjoy it, love hanging out, and thanks to the feedback of the community, I improve stuff. It's not based on statistics. But we will work with a marketing company soon, which will help with some like a website, a little bit of branding probably still, and just general marketing stuff. The hard part is behind you, them nukes. Exactly. Got any statistics of BMIs? What body fat is the most popular viewers of your channel? If I had, I probably wasn't allowed to gonna be shared it, like allowed to share it, personal data. But no, I don't. Oh, 1 second. Okay, we back. Abiyit, you're not banned, but it's probably the banned words that are a problem. So if you do experience a little issue there, then what you want to do is go to Discord. I have a channel called, where is it? Oh, here. YouTube banned words. And then check if a word in your text is in here, because sometimes it is like expert, debt, right? Made over, losing. The thing is, these are words that scammers use all the time in the YouTube comment section, and it is a big pain. Now, the only reason to get rid of the scammers in my comments, and the fact that my YouTube comment section and live stream section is very clean, is because I have that list. So when a scammer posts a scam message, I try to identify words that scammers use all the time, but people, normal people, rarely ever use. And those are the words in the list. But sometimes people, of course, use those words. So it happens. Would you suggest me to go short or long right now for a short term? Depends on your plan or strategy, no? I'm not a financial advisor, so I cannot suggest you. The only thing I can suggest you is to make a plan or a strategy, which you have to develop over months of collecting data, so that in a long term you'll be profitable. Because with these type of questions, you will never be long-term profitable. Guaranteed. Because you're dependent on other people, and everyone will say something else. Plus, if someone else has a strategy and says up or down, they know where to take profit is and the stop loss and everything. You don't. You just go long or short. But you don't know the way they trade. So the best thing to do is have your own strategy, which you will develop with the 6 steps in a nutshell. Try as many free tools as you can is step 1 in TradingView. Step 2, find your favorites, build statistics. This is where most people give up, which is stupid. Then you have step number 3, combine some of your favorite tools and build more statistics. Right? So now you're building a strategy. Step 4 is tweaking, adjusting. So add a tool, remove a tool, build more statistics. Step 5 is start trading the combination. Low amount of money, work on trading psychology. And then step 6 is increase your portfolio size. And then you're going to start earning money. Yeah, exactly. And that was my problem as well. My first trade was a big winner. It's probably the worst that can happen. Oh, man. Are you familiar with the theory of Occam's razor? I am not, actually. Is this trading related or more like history or something else? 230 mil? Is that a Koen shaved his beard joke setup? I know. It had to get off, man. It was getting so long. I think it was actually one of the longest I've had. Usually that's... Oh, sorry. It's kind of like yesterday. It's kind of like that's when it goes off. And when it goes off, I just take it all off. I don't bother. #1 Indian trading platform. The golden pocket. Oh, it's taken from this low to the high because the 886 is tested and price quite often just moves to the golden pocket after an 886 touch. I'm half Japanese. My sister lives in Okinawa. Yasfir, I watch your videos on a regular basis and it's never enough. It's I know you personally. You seem like a very calm and easy person to talk to. That's the perfect personality for a trader. Thanks, Yasfir. And yeah, personality, I think. So it has changed over time. Not my personality. I mean, everyone's personality kind of slightly adjust over time, but mainly my trading personality changed. In the beginning, I was very emotional, very uncontrollable, FOMO, YOLO, revenge trading. I had no patience, and I evolved into a trader that deals with those type of things without a problem now. My personality has always been like this. Like I'm always calm and collected and analytical. But especially in the beginning, I can switch from 0 to 100 really quick. So in the beginning, when things went wrong or go against me, I would lose the calmness, lose the control. And I'm definitely a person that likes to have control. So I had to work on my psychology. Yeah. But I appreciate the fact you also think as if you know me personally as well. It's like building a relationship online. It's also, I do so many live streams. I love talking to everyone. I can do it for hours, but it's just that I don't really have all of those hours. Kun has beard anorexia. Yeah, today I have. I shaved it off last night. Yeah. So now it's just, the small hairs. And I didn't recognize myself. No. On most of them, I'm multitasking. Do not worry, Yasfir. Just watching is perfectly fine. I just make the videos for people to enjoy and learn something and hopefully helpful in a way. And no one has to comment or all that stuff, but no. Christian, welcome. Master Damas, good to have you here as well. Sir, in the long-term charts, whenever I try to use log scale, it creates illusion. I'm not sure what you mean per se, but if we would go to a weekly time frame. So the moment I click on this L here, right, and I go to log, you might get this, but then you just click on the A, or you do a right mouse click, reset chart view, and then you're back, right? And if you do use fibs on this time frame, make sure that your fibs are on log. Fib levels based on log scale. At least for the most part, that is important. Ah, I see. I guess in a way it works with trading as well, and having Elliott wave scenarios that generally the one that's simple tends to be the one that's most straightforward tends to be the higher probability one compared to having WXYs everywhere and this and that and WXYXZ and when you hear hoof beats, I think horses nor zebras. The reverse pattern. If you talk about patterns, then a reverse pattern would be a head and shoulders, for example. And from an Elliott wave point of view, you're looking at a 4-5-1-2 continuation back up, or a BC, A, B, C, and then 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Is the golden pocket always bullish? Depends how you pull it. So if you ever move up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and you pull a golden pocket from the low to the high, then the golden pocket is support, so it's bullish. Oh, that's weird. My Control Z doesn't work. And then if we have an impulse down and a retracement, now your golden pocket is bearish, taken from the high to the low of the move. Let me refresh my chart here just so that my Control Z works again. But on the lower time frame, on the 15 minutes, after the 886 is touched, price has a tendency to move to the golden pocket. And then the golden pocket becomes an important support resistance area. Now it's both taken from the low to the high here. 886 touched, golden pocket touched, back to the 886. Like perfection, no? And now the golden pocket acts as resistance, right? Do you track altcoins as well? Yeah, I have an altcoin stream once a week, and that's now tomorrow because I couldn't yesterday. Usually it's Sunday, but I wasn't able to do it yesterday. So tomorrow is going to be altcoin stream. I probably need to write that somewhere. Exactly, Hoshi. Exactly. I haven't asked her about today though. Love your comments on the Koens updates. Oh yes, T. Clapson. Yeah, often he's commenting. Billy Amin, welcome. What happened? BTC dump that fast. I was in a long. I just entered toilet. Before I come back, I saw the move. Nothing in particular. Just I think price hit the golden pocket from an Elliott wave probabilities higher to take out this low, but we hit the golden pocket and had a solid rejection. Nothing happened in particular. No news or something as far as I know. The notorious 8862 GP, exactly. Oh wait, the revenge. And what was the question again? The reverse pattern. I'm not really sure. The revenge reverse. Yeah, so like it's just bad trading experience over the time. Yeah, so a reverse trading, revenge trading is of course when you enter a trade, you lose the trade, or you exit primarily or too early, and then you like want to make back the profits and you go in again and out again, in out, lower time frame, higher leverage, in out, and eventually you just keep losing. And what really helps from a psychology point of view is step one: stay in the market, right? Get your money, like especially in the beginning, don't put all your money on an exchange. Doesn't make any sense. You're very unlikely to make profits. So to save yourself from losing all the money you have, it's better to just get it out. But working on psychology, one is stay in the market long enough and you will improve in your psychology automatically. You'll become a lot more patient. You will realize that there's a new setup every day or every week or every month, depending on your strategy. But also you can actively work on your psychology. Where's the book? It is the first link in the description. The Mental Game of Trading, Jared Tendler. This is a book, in my opinion, the best. By the way, it's not the first link in the description, but if you scroll down to the books, it is one of the first books that's mentioned in the description. In my opinion, one of the best, the best book about trading psychology and coping with trading psychology issues that you may have. So I can definitely recommend that book. 100%. That's why it's in the list below the video. I often get questions about books, so that's why in Discord and in YouTube I have a list. So yeah, I can recommend that one. And that one will really help if you put time and energy into doing the exercises. If this is a flat, the most recent reversal was in the golden pocket from the previous top. This one was in that case, but then we're looking for 1, 2, and then a 3 now, or ABC. Only time ago with the is 8860 GP. What game did you play when you played Trackmania? I played Trackmania professionally for 11 years. You'll find a lot of information about me online. Just look for Koens. That's all you need to know. Had to refresh. Welcome back, Donovan. So that's where the came from. Marty, welcome. Good to have you here. Welcome. PTSS on the revenge trade story. Oh, yeah, man. Yeah. It's dramatic, huh? Under 1 hour. Have you looked at ending diagonal? Not at the moment. Ending diagonal for me here is so far not a thing. This structure up, right? This has to be a zigzag family structure. Okay, that works. But then how is someone going to count this as an ending diagonal, right? You then need it doesn't work unless you start to do this, but then you want like what you somehow need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? This has to be it. But then your 3 has to be a 3-wave structure. This looks very much like an impulse, not a 3-waver. So it's not really something I'm looking at right now, at least. Altcoin stream is tomorrow. I'm not a financial advisor. You can go to your bank. Flat high probability. Yeah, flat or the WXY. We now took the low, so the probabilities have played out finally. Right, so we took out the low. Also, the 886 probabilities played out, which is always nice. And then you either have the WXY or the bigger flat now, right? In other words, WX zigzag, Y, and then reverse, or bigger flat is A, B, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What are we going to look for? When is a range going to form, no? So you want to wait for a range. Will give us all the info. This has now played out as well, so. Okay. Good morning, Chester B. Tester. How are you doing? Welcome, welcome. Okay. Well, it's nice to see that the probabilities here played out. And with that, I've been online now for 1.5 hours. And in my agenda, yeah, I will definitely, based on my planning for today, have to continue with the other stuff. So tomorrow morning, first of all, tonight will be another video. Tomorrow morning, another video. Tomorrow afternoon will be altcoin stream. Should be quite interesting because of the ETH ETF stuff going on. So let's see what's up. But yeah. Chester B Tester just joining. Sorry, mate. Gotta go. Been online for a while. Thanks for being here, everyone. Thanks for hanging out. Trade safe locally, right? We know the probabilities. I mean, you can still have some sort of a flat locally, of course, but looking for the WXY or the bigger ABC. Take it from there. So to the cheers, Adam. Thanks for being here. Donovan, Farhad, Hoshi, GTPT or GTP Sleeper. Hoshi, Rudy. That is true, Rudy. That is true. It takes, first of all, you have to know all the theory, then implement it on a chart, and then read probabilities, then trade it. That's why many Elliott Wave analysts also use other tools in confluence with Elliott Waves to trade. But thanks, everyone. Enjoy your day, your morning, your night, your whatever time zone you are in the world. And yeah, I'm going to catch you again tomorrow, okay?